Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we're prepping the build site for my new pole barn. I'll get into the details about the barn and the pad here in a few, but first we have to clean up the build site, and that means moving my shipping container. I've had a few people in the comments asking how I'm going to move the shipping container, and well, we're going to drag it with an excavator. My plan for the shipping container is to paint it to blend into the tree line, and eventually I'd like to build a deck on top. I think that would be the perfect spot to sit back and watch the sunset. Another idea that I've been considering is adding a lean-to off the back of the shipping container to store my implements and keep them out of the weather. But for now, let's get into building the pad. My pole barn is going to be a 30 by 40, so the plan is to make the pad 2 feet wider on each side, giving us an overall pad size of 34 by 44 feet. Boyd Excavating, based out of Armada, Michigan, will be installing the pad. If you're interested in their work, I'll leave a link to their Facebook page in the description. The pad build is going to be broken up into 2 days. On the first day, the plan is to strip off all the topsoil and place it around the perimeter of the pad. Where I'm located, we're going to need to dig down about a foot to reach the clay before we bring in the fill on day 2. You'll notice that the excavator is packing down the topsoil around the perimeter of the pad. This will help keep the fill in place and create a solid base for the concrete that will eventually be poured. And that's a wrap on day 1. The site is prepped and ready to go, and tomorrow we'll be back at it with the fill. Let's see how this pad comes together. It's now day 2 of building the pad, and today we're bringing in a whole lot of fill dirt. For this 34 by 44 foot pad, we'll need around 200 yards of sand. Each load will be spread evenly with a dozer before being compacted with a vibratory roller. Since we stripped all the topsoil on day 1, we'll use the sand to build the pad back up, eventually leaving it about 2 feet higher than the original grade. Getting this elevation right is one of the most important parts of the entire project. We want to make sure water is always flowing away from the barn so we don't have water problems down the road. With that being said, I'm going to use my 1953 Ford Jubilee and a 6-foot box blade to cut a swale along the property line. This will carry water off the pad and surrounding ground and direct it out towards the ditch at the road. I'll show you more of the swale at the end of the video, but that's enough talking for now. Let's get back to the heavy equipment and watch this pad take shape. and that's going to wrap up the barn pad. After bringing in roughly 200 yards of sand, spreading it, compacting it, and getting everything graded out, we finally have a solid foundation for the barn. But you'll notice there isn't enough dirt around the pad properly to soak the water away. That's where the swale comes in. I used my 1953 Ford Jubilee to cut the swale along the property line, and then used the dirt I removed to shape the outskirts of the pad. This is just a rough grade for now, and I'll clean everything up once the barn is finished. You'll definitely want to stick around for next week's video. A crew of 4 Amish builders are coming out, and they're going to get the entire barn standing in just 3 days. They also have a pretty incredible way of setting these trusses completely by hand. I really appreciate you watching all the way to the end, and I'm excited to finally share the barn build with you next week. If you haven't already, make sure to like the video and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one.